Bernard just vomited up this eye in front of Bebe and Eddi-Rue, and Bebe immediately grabbed it and put it in her purse.
In a glove, sanitarily. I came prepared. We have to leave now.
Yeah, Lane walks back in with Doris from the bill fiasco and just says, I don't think that we paid the right amount, but I think it's fine.
It was close enough. It was a ballpark estimate.
And Eddi-Rue just is making that wrap it up kind of like finger motion. She's like, we gotta go.
I don't know. It's we can amble out, right? You can go. We can sit at the bar.
Eddi-Rue Eddi-Rue just grabs Lane's hand very gently and just starts walking.
I get it.
Yeah, Eddi-Rue's also like twice your size, and she is just continuing to do this.
Lane, let's just go. I'm sure we'll be back. We'll work it out next time.
I'm sure we'll be back.
I'm just gonna take a $10 bill and just put it on the bar and be like, we're good. Let's go.
We all pile into our motorcycle and sidecar that we get around town with. Straight up, what were those two like cooks, those British cooks on TV in the 90s?
None of us did take the power where you get a talking car.
Oh my God.
God damn it.
I can't believe it. We get into Lane's 1989 Buick LeSabre. That definitely has the like seat covers that are like the wooden rolly things that are on the back for like, and the seat is pushed all the way up.
Right, and there's like a little like plunger thing attached to the pedals, so they're a little bit higher.
Oh, wooden blocks, just straight up wooden blocks on the pedals.
Where are you going? What are y'all talking about? What do you got to do?
I feel like we should go back to Doris's.
Yeah, I think we need to go back. Actually, I'm gonna say this. Everybody, baby, do you have any soup?
Always.
Can we go have some soup?
I thought you would never ask.
I think we need to cozy up for a minute so we can just clear our heads, clear a condition or two, discuss what we need to do next. So yeah, I think I just kind of want to like around that, just be like, I'm going to take out some of Teddy's tea that I have and, we'll put on some tea, have some soup, and I'll just be like, okay, so this is all very strange, especially the dean. I feel like, but I don't want this to happen again, where we do all this work and then it's not, accepted. The sheriff obviously is not doing his job. I don't know that I trust him. Do we want to talk to the DA? Should we bring them in now? I know it's a risk. I'm just wondering, because I feel like, my initial thought is let's go talk to the dean, but like, what's going to happen? Nothing.
Yeah, I think the dean seems like a potentially dangerous character with all of these just mysteriously the oceanography department is getting all this money. I don't know. If we're going to talk to the dean, we should all have some more rope.
I do have an idea.
Oh, please.
If the oceanography department's getting a lot more money, maybe there's a professor they invited to interview as an extra staff member.
Oh, like the professor that you played on that episode of Sequest?
I do not remember being on that show, but sure. I'm sure they paid me for it.
You were very good. The one with the talking dolphin.
There was a talking. I don't think I was on set with a dolphin. I was very high that year. No.
The show has a talking dolphin. I love it.
I saw that episode too. Yeah, and then I saw your name in the credits, and it was just recently after I'd met you, and I was like, "That Lane? Is this Lane? Wow."
They put a lot of prosthetics on me, so I was also passed out for half the shooting days.
Well, but yeah. So anyway, yes, Lane. Wouldn't they be interviewing right now for such professors?
That is exactly what I mean. And Lane reaches into her trunk, into her closet stacked floor to ceiling with stolen props, and pulls out Oh, what's an article of clothing a professor would wear? Well, it's clearly a blazer with with elbow patches that three of us mimed at the same time on the Zoom, and throws it on.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I feel like you need like an accent here, and Doris is gonna tie like a little like scarf, like kind of like a flight attendant scarf around your neck.
Oh, lovely.
It's in light greens and blues, sea tones. It's subtle. It's good.
And for this show that I don't remember being on, I am Professor Tolkien Dolphin.
Do you remember this show at all, Ben? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, there's a link to the IMDb page in the chat. I highly recommend. I liked this show in 1994 or 5.
I'm imagining it's like a live action C Lab.
You're not even prepared to open it, and you're going to be like, who's the lead in a show called Sequest, which is basically like, it's basically
all right, I'm doing this now.
It's basically if it's space, right? It's just space, but it's underwater.
Yeah.
And they have a dolphin and a stowaway child who is best friends with the dolphin, and the dolphin has a thing on it that allows the dolphin to communicate through a computer.
So what's cool is that I'm looking at this cast, and the first name I actually recognize is Frank Welker as the voice of Darwin.
Ted Raimi. Wow. But come on, Roy Schneider. The
First of all,
lead
it's
in
Roy
Jaws.
Scheider. Oh, this guy.
Wow. I'm upset. All right. Sorry, this is a big old non sequitur.
So the plan is for Lane to go in for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
I love this plan.
Yeah.
Do you need backup, Lane?
Well, of course, I'm coming with my grad students. They're coming to the program. I have to bring my program with me, so there's 3 doctoral candidates.
Well, none of us are going. He knows us.
You can't
Maybe Shannon.
Oh, Shannon.
Is there any other business that we have on the campus?
Like there are other people who, you met Dr. Banerjee. She's on the campus. You know that Demeter Dendry is an adjunct there as well.
There's Wendy too.
Wales. Yeah, Wendy Wales is still there.
Ooh.
She's also in the oceanography program with Shannon Doherty and under Dr. Banerjee.
And she likes us.
Mm-hmm. We could bring Wendy some soup to catch up.
I like this plan. Well, you're in your interview.
You're still welcome to be my grad students.
It will give it away, Lane.
Whatever you say.
This, however, perfectly discreet.
Lane, okay, all right. I'm not as good. You're too good.
It's a group effort. You have to do it you all do it together, or else it's completely unbelievable.
I have my role.
All right. So I'm clear on the plan. The plan is for Lane dressed as Dr.
Tolkien Dolphin.
Tolkien Dolphin. Great name. Is to be interviewed by the Dean Olin Dearborn, and the rest of you are going to go talk to Wendy Wales at the museum.
Oh, I thought she was at the on campus. Is the museum on campus?
Yeah,
it is on
it's
campus.
there.
Yeah.
It's like it's like on the outskirts of campus. Yeah.
I just imagine Lane putting on like a Steve Zissou ski cap and just immediately just transforming.
I also really want Lane for you to have like a pipe of some sort.
These all of these things. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll get you, fish.
Mm-hmm.
Lane presses a button on her cigarette case and it like turns into a pipe. No, that doesn't happen. But
Oh God, go gadget.
Flex.
Oh, I love it. So you return to this campus, and it looks, things are being taken down because the Autumnal Festival was just yesterday. So tables are sort of being taken down. You do see that Janice is there with Esther, and they are taking down a table. You see Etienne's table is already gone. He's no longer there. It looks like he got up at the crack of dawn and took care of this. But Janice and Esther were a little bit slower. In the distance, you still see the lighthouse with the museum in it. And you also still see the stage is half up, half down, but that's still there. In fact, some of the contraptions and stuff are still there. And the tent that the Great Grievous was in is mostly gone by now. So there's just remnants of it left. But you can make your way, Lane, to Dean Olin Dearborn's office if you would like.
Yeah, I think Lane explains to a very confused secretary that Dr. Delphine, does indeed have an appointment that was scheduled with Olan. She received an invite from a Dr. TB.
Dr. TB, do you mean Dr. Tara Banerjee?
Probably. I thought it could be tuberculosis also, but I'm an oceanographer. I'm not a name expert.
You're an oceanographer. Yeah. Okay. Will you just have like a seat, please?
Of course.
Yeah, I'll just talk with Olin and see if he's around. I mean, Mr. Dearborn.
I will gaze out at the window at my beloved ocean.
The most agreeable Lane has ever been.
Right. Great. Okay. Sure. And you see that the secretary goes into a different room. And you can see passing by this office is Lane as you're sort of waiting. You see that Demeter Dendry does like sort of walk by, scuttle by the office very, very quickly, and like is sort of like looking over her shoulder.
Lane is about to wave and then remembers she's in character.
Great. But then you do see that the secretary comes out and she goes, all right, Dean Olin is happy to see, what did you say your name was? Dr.
Talking Delphine.
Right, that. Olin, I mean, Mr. Dearborn, the doctor's here. And then she just sort of like gestures in.
Yeah, and Lane sort of strolls into the office before he can meet her at the door and just says, the doctor is in. I'm not a medical doctor, but you know that already.
Yes. and Olin is just sort of like, oh, hi. Yes, hi. Well, welcome. And Lane, you can see all around his office. It's just like this shrine to esoterica related to the ocean. There's just like random bits and bobs everywhere that just seem like from different eras and different times, different mechanical things, different things that have been pulled out. But he gestures to a seat in front of you that looks very much like a repurposed captain's chair of some sort.
Oh, thank you. I love your trilobites.
Ah, yes. Yes. Sorry, I don't have it. Do you have your resume with you? The positions aren't quite ready to be open. We're just very excited for this new influx of income. Dr. Tolkien Delphine. I would love to see your CV though, and then what you're working with to see if you'd be a good fit for our program here.
Oh, of course. I had my assistant fax it on over, but it might be in the pipes.
Oh goodness. And he like exhales and he is just like, Tammy, did you get a fax? A fax? Yes, Tammy. No? Thank you, Tammy. Anyway, so sorry. I don't seem to have that in front of me. Why don't you talk to me about your experience a little bit, and then I can tell you a little bit about our program here.
Oh, it's quite fine. I have to say, I'm very excited for the prospect of working here. It would be, I think, as you know, as an employee of this fine institution, a dream come true. Right here, in the ocean, on the ocean, at such a prestigious institution. And my work up at the university in Maine, obviously complimentary. You can bring all kinds of information. I have my whole saltwater library. Obviously, that's coming with me. It's in my office, and it would cut. I've got bookshelves. We could put them on a truck. There's a whole thing. Dr. TB was telling me all about the new prospect of this institution and exactly the kinds of ways that my research could fit in. But tell me, I'm curious, where do you see with this new wonderful influx of cash, this program expanding? And I think this is meddling.
Fantastic. Yeah, roll to meddle.
Great. And I am going to, in fact, mark off the black scarf that Doris tied around my neck, which was an item from my inventory, to get advantage on this.
While Ben is rolling, you said Janice was there, right?
Yeah, Janice and Esther are out doing some stuff. They're cleaning up the table from Candlelight Booksellers.
Wonderful. I'm just going to pull up a chair right next to them and just sit down. It's been a long walk and I'm really tired after carrying the soup, so I just need to rest for a second.
I like that the camera just sort of pans over to Bebe doing that, while Eddi-Rue and Doris maybe just sort of stare on for a second.
No. I absolutely have a thing I want to do. But I didn't want to interrupt. I very much want to accidentally bump into Demeter.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah. So then let's put a pause on that, and we'll come back to Bebe and Doris and Eddi-Rue in just a second. Lane, go ahead and tell me what you rolled for the night.
So I rolled, and I'm rolling presents, obviously, because come on. So that's a 9 + 2, 11.
Oh!
Yes!
Lane of the ocean.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yes. So Olin Dearborn is just like, well, as you probably already know, Brindlewood Bay Community College isn't your typical 2-year institution. No, ma'am. This is not the kind of place students come to get their freshman and sophomore credits on the cheap before enrolling in a big university. We are far more ambitious than that, right? We are doing groundbreaking research here. Our oceanography department, for example, recently did a manned sea dive to 11,000 meters. One of the
Beautiful.
Ever. It's just fantastic. So this new influx of cash, we really see going to a very, very ambitious projects. This university, as you might know, has quite a history of pulling things from the ocean that need further inspection, and entice the imagination, as it were. So I hope that this research really does bring about some great prospects on that front. And you can tell that he's holding a lot back, but out of the corner of your eye, you do see that there's like a shiny something that's coming from the closet, that you just sort of clock, Lane. There's something like shiny that's in his office behind closed doors, and he just continues to pontificate about like these many research things that they are planning on doing. Oh, and then we're hoping that we'll be able to find maybe some of these things that they found in the 1800s. If we could just rediscover that. I know that Brindlewood Bay Community College can just be at the forefront of this research.
And Lane is nodding and standing up with him, and sort of motioning for a walk and talk as she sort of gestures at some of his tchotchkes and says, exactly, bringing not only the trilobites, not only this, whatever this fossil is, I'm not an expert in shelled creatures, and of course, salt. Salt is what is in the ocean. And with the saltwater expert, the foremost saltwater expert, and she leans on the door with the shiny thing on it, hoping to open it by accident.
Oh, I love that. Go ahead. Because you rolled an 11, I'm not going to make you do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you see when you land is it pops open for just a second, but it looks like there's a picture of the Great Grievous that you see really, really quickly, and you also see the shiny thing is this very shiny copper bowl with a red substance in it that looks fairly thick. And immediately
Cool.
Olin shuts the door, and he's just like, "I'm so sorry. It's just a mess in there. It's just a mess in there." We had, as you can imagine, a huge kerfuffle last night. Lots of things have gone on, and there's some promotional. My background is in PR. There's some promotional materials that were in there, as you can imagine. Just
You can't study the ocean without falling in. I know.
and he's sort of pushing out the door. He's like, but hopefully we do get this fax. Tammy, yeah, did you get the fax? No. Great work, Tammy. Great work. We will get this fax from you, Dr. Tolkien Delphine, and then we will hopefully be able to move forward, because we are hoping to expand. And if I could trouble you, where are you staying right now? Because I would love to talk to you about some other developments, perhaps. I would love to send a representative, perhaps, from our prestigious academic organization here, to talk to you further about other possibilities.
Oh, of course. And she reaches into her pockets desperately and pulls out a card that she took from the bill at the Prometheus Hotel.
Oh, you're staying at the Grand Prometheus. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Would love to come by and see you. It might not be me, but somebody will be in touch to talk with you further.
Would happily meet TB or anyone else. Just don't give me TB. I'm not vaccinated.
Just so delightful. Just delightful. You are short, though, aren't you? Yes, you're very short. It's going to be a wonderful addition to our department. Wonderful addition.
It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure. Excellent. Excellent. This way. And he gestures you out.
Yeah, and Lane leaves.
Bebe, who is staring intently at Esther and Janice, you can see Janice is trying really hard to like pay attention to you, and she's smiling at you and trying to get you to look in her eyes. And Esther is continually just like, we got her back to you, just won't even acknowledge you.
I don't have anything to say. I'm just staring.
Can that be how you meddle?
Yeah, is there a non-verbal, non-physical metal option?
I mean, this is presence. I mean, if you're trying to like just like intimidate, I mean, I think there's an argument to be made that this is presence in some way.
I want them to start sweating. Let's do it. Hell yeah. All right, where we at with my presence? I didn't make that one high. I regret that now. Oh, it's a 0. God damn it.
You got a 6 total?
Yeah.
Do you want to use something from your cozy place or put on a crown? Chris says you do.
I didn't say a word. I'm just saying, go get it.
Oh, God. Some of these are really inappropriate. Okay. Janice, I've already messed with her a little bit. I would assume she's kind of like me and certain things just really bother her. I'm going to just guess that either she or Esther has like misophonia or something where they don't do well with the ASMR sounds and stuff. My favorite. So I satisfying my physical desires by doing the one thing that I actually personally hate the most, which is sucking teeth.
Ooh.
And every time they go to just like move or talk or adjust something or pick something up, I'm just going to suck my teeth. And I can't do it because I will actually squirm. But y'all know what it is, and it's disgusting.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. What does it sound like?
Just take off your headphones for a second.
Oh, I hate everybody. Quit.
So is this something from your cozy place? Is this like, what is this? How is this
That was
helping?
a crown move, something that satisfies my physical needs, because I assume I have stuff stuck in my teeth.
Love it. Great. So that bumps your 6 to the next tier.
Janice is my slow burn. She is my everlasting coal.
So while you're sitting here, baby, and you're sucking on your teeth, watching them try to clean up this beautiful display that they made for the other day, something does catch your eye on the stage. But it looks like it's going to be pretty difficult to get to, because you do see that there's like that Sheriff Dalrymple is near the stage still looking at things. But it's all of a sudden like you're getting a better look at the rope that's still hanging there for the trick. And it's like it just looks a little bit off, and it looks like it needs more inspection. But it's just like you're going to have to get past Sheriff Dalrymple if you want to look at it. So while you think through what you might do with that, Eddi-Rue and Doris, what have you been up to?
I think Doris was back on campus and thinking about the last mysterious answering machine message, which was about finding the plans, the genius's plans. And then if the machine, or if like the stage and some of the stuff is still there, I think she would try to snoop around and see if, not that the plans are there, but see if anything on the stage or in the tent would point to any more clues.
So when you see Sheriff Dalrymple, though, what's your plan?
Oof, great question. Doris, I'm still furious with / at bureaucracy. So I think Doris is just going to go up to him and say, Sheriff.
Doris, can I ask what you're doing on campus?
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be by the ocean. It's still autumn-ish. Just having a nice little walk around. What might you be doing on campus, Sheriff Dalrymple. And she kind of just glares at him slightly.
It's Dalrymple.
That's what I said.
You know my mother. And I am doing an investigation. So I am on campus. I have asked you, the DA have asked you all to not be here. So what are you doing here?
I mean, they asked me not to poke my nose into things. I hardly think going for a walk on a beautiful day such as this would be poking my nose into things, unless you think there might be something happening on this very stage. That would be curious, don't you think?
This is a crime scene.
Okay, but Sheriff, hear me out for just a second. You know we love these books, right? Your mom loves them. She loved them. She never really finished one all the way. But at any rate, I'm not touching. I'm not meddling. I just wanted to, and here Doris is going to kind of steel herself because it's not the thing she wants to say, but she's just like, as a law enforcement officer, what are you looking at around here? Like, what's going on? I mean, I would have thought you would have wrapped up all your clue finding pretty quickly.
Are you meddling?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll.
Come on. Ooh. Ooh, I got an 11.
Go.
Finally. It is. Oh, wait. I rolled an 11 and I would be using presence, charm, or... Yeah, presence, which is a 0. So it's an 11.
Oh, I was like, we get a void clue?
Oh, well, do I have any cozy place things?
I would argue you keep composure because you are angry with bureaucracy, but you're keeping your shit together.
I love that. Then it's a 12. Thank you, Eddi-Rue.
Thank you, Eddi-Rue.
Here I am.
Fantastic. And you can see that he's visibly like upset with you, and he's just like, okay. And he's like trying to get you away from the stage. He's like, look, you cannot be here. You cannot be here. And I am doing my job. And just because the trick never worked properly and it worked fine, this is the problem with you all. You get in my head. You just get in my head. Please go away. So the clue there was that the trick never worked properly.
Doris wants to ask so many more questions.
He is pointing you away from him and away from the stage so intensely. And his eyes, you can see sort of flicker over to Bebe. And you see that he sort of like does like a little readjust and kind of like half smiles. And then he like stiffens back up.
Oh, I got a half smile. My boy's gonna get some soup.
Miss Eddi-Rue.
Oh, hello, Demeter.
So you bump into Demeter because Demeter is like on a mission. And so if you bumped into her, she's like,
Absolutely. I help pick up her things that she definitely drops.
What are you,
Hi. Oh, hello. It's good to see you again. Are you okay?
I'm fine. You're not supposed to be here.
What? Why not? Do you know something I don't know?
She just sort of glares at you very intensely, and it's just like, you were given very explicit instructions.
Are you talking about the voice message that I received?
She snatches her papers back from you, and she's just like, you were given explicit instructions.
Demeter.
I cannot believe that you would be here. On your head be it. And she walks very, very directly over to the sheriff.
Wow. I would just love to figure out what that's all about. I don't know if this is the moment. I don't know if this is a time for me to be able to figure anything out of this. I'm trying to, like, how could I even... I think it's just sort of like... I think that's just very good information for me to know about this person that she knew I wasn't supposed to... Well, first of all, time out. The answering machine message was just don't talk to Hugh and like otherwise don't meddle, right?
Well, right. I think the answering machine message we got was from
the dean.
Yeah, the dean. And he said, do not talk to Hugh or I'll expel you from college. He didn't say that one, but
yeah. And he said, please don't meddle in this, I think, meaning the investigation.
Right. So, but the assumption that we are here, right, is different. Like the fact that Demeter knows that we were told not to thinks that we were told not to be here is not the same thing as the message that we received.
I mean, or Demeter just thinks correctly that we are meddling in things by being here.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to figure out if this is okay. Fine, whatever. Well, okay. Where is she coming from?
Excellent. You see like she was an adjunct, so you know that. And when you were like rifling through her paper, or like helping her with her papers, they were just essays from students.
Oh, well, that's the thing that I wanted. That's my meddling. There is my meddling. I want to know what she was. I want to know the papers. I had the papers in my hand. How can I roll for this?
Roll for it. I'll tell you. The papers that you saw were about what the ocean means to me.
Uh-huh. Okay. Any students I recognize?
No names that you recognize.
Okay. Is this a lost interaction? Is there any way for me to get a clue out of this?
I mean, if you want to try to find her office, or if you want to try to find her again, then sure.
I think well, she's going right to the sheriff. So I guess I think I want to. Do you know what I want to do? Actually, I want to start walking away and then fall and then be like, actually, I want to fall and I want to be like, that woman just pushed me.
I'm going to call that a night move.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Call that a night move. So when you do something risky or face something you fear, name what you are afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. The keeper will tell you how it's worse than you fear. You can choose to back down or go through with it.
I'm afraid I'll break a hip.
Absolutely. I would say that not only should you be afraid of breaking a hip, which I think is a very real possibility in this, but I think that you were also afraid of showing, alerting your suspicions to Demeter, and that could have way more consequences than you could possibly imagine right now. Do you want to go through with it?
Mm-hmm.
Roll.
I'm not really fucking sure what I even want out of this. I just want to do it.
I want you to do it too.
Ugh, this is going to be when I roll bad. Cool. I'm going to also, from my purse, is going to one of my one of my old bottles that I had is going to shatter to give myself advantage on this roll. Cool. What am I rolling on here? This has got to be presence. That is an 8. Or I can put on a crown. I think I'm going to put on a crown to the queen. It's going to be a flashback showing how I was an imperfect mother. Just going to be this moment where my daughter fell and skinned her knee. And I sort of like, she fell and she was complaining about it. And I was just like, you're fine. And I took her to Pizza Hut. And she didn't want to go into Pizza Hut. And that's how I knew that she was actually hurt. But it took like 2 hours for me to actually come around to the fact that she had broken her collarbone. And so I felt like I was an imperfect mother in that moment. And I am going to roll through it.
I love it. So walk me through it. You, what happened?
I roll through, I go, oh, make a big noise. And I fall and I roll and I go, my hip, this Demeter, ow, why would you do that?
And she runs back. She's like, I did, what did you do?
Why would you, I don't understand why you're so mad at me right now.
I'm not mad at you.
You
and she's
told
like,
me to go away and then you shoved me.
I did not shove you.
I am on the ground.
Yeah, I and like other people are like coming over and you see the sheriff.
Just tell me why you're so mad at me. Tell me I understand. I just wanted to go for a walk.
I'm not mad at you, Eddi-Rue. I'm not mad at you, okay? But you weren't supposed to be here.
Why? What are you talking about? Why do you mean?
You're not supposed to be here. I have to tell the sheriff.
Why?
The midwives don't want you here. I have to go. And she like books it, but she doesn't go towards the sheriff anymore. You see the sheriff is looking around very confused at what just happened. But yeah, she's bolting. She's bolting back. She's
bolting back. I can't use the gun, Ben. I already used the gun in episode 2.
Okay, is the sheriff out of view from where I am now?
No, you can see a full view of this. You just saw Eddi-Rue take a tumble.
Damn it.
But he's not next to the stage anymore because he's going to Eddi-Rue.
Don't know how much time I have to be able to get to the stage, give the rope a tug, just like...
I'm near the stage. I could boost you up if that's helpful. Like, I don't know how high the stage is, but we can do whoop situation.
I'm geriatric, but fortunately I have a little special move called Colt Sievers where I can take a 12 plus on any roll related to a wild or physical feat.
Yes.
Hell
So
yeah.
we're just gonna, this is like Space Jam moment with a very much more appropriate song where I am running and jumping.
Party people in the house, let's go. It's your boy JCI.
Okay, so basically I'm going to bring the soup with me because I have a plan for if I get caught. I'm going to run and put the soup on the stage, kind of push off of that and jump up. And I don't want to like move it because I don't want them to know I've tampered with the evidence. So I'm really just trying to like get a feel of the rope, get as many fibers as I can on a glove, and just like give it a quick tug and put it back in place before anybody sees what's going on.
I love it.
Yeah.
What you do when you realize like you pull on it, it's not a trick rope.
It's a real rope. Sick. Okay.
It's not a trick rope, which means you might not know enough about magic tricks to know this, but you know that if you're going to hang yourself on stage, it's going to be a trick rope somehow. And it's not a trick rope.
Sick. Okay. That's a plan.
Eddi-Rue, the sheriff has come over to you at this point.
Did I get a clue out of that conversation?
Your clue was that Demeter is connected to the Midwives.
And so that's a void clue, right?
That's a void clue.
That's a hell of a void clue.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, where's my Wimple? Oh, there, Wimple.
Eddi-Rue, and he's trying to pick you up, and you can see that Esther's even like coming this way, trying like, and it's like completely like passed by Bebe, and it's just like Eddi-Rue, always Sheriff. So dramatic.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you so much. And I just sort of like,
and he's just like, mother, calm down. She's fine. She's faking it. They all fake it. They're all fakers all the time.
I put my hand on his very meaty pecs. And I say, thank you so much. I don't know what happened or what was going on there, but...
You said Demeter pushed you? That doesn't sound like Demeter. Does that sound like Demeter, Mother?
You know Demeter?
Of course I know Demeter. Everybody knows Demeter. And Esther just goes, nobody knows Demeter.
I just met Demeter a couple
stop
of weeks
this.
ago.
Nobody knows Demeter. Don't listen to him.
I would love to meddle in some way to get. How do I meddle? I don't know. I don't have anything. No, I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure it was just she was in a hurry. Okay, that's all. I'm sure. I don't want to get Demeter in trouble.
She just wouldn't push people out of. I mean, you aren't. I mean, I did tell you all though that like I just don't think that sleuthing is for you all.
We're not sleuthing.
But you've returned to the scene, haven't you? You've returned to the scene. He looks around and he's just like, and he looks and he's like, "What is Baby?
What day is it?"
I'm not on the stage. I grab his head. The soup is on the stage. Thank you.
I'm going to take his face into my hands, give him a little smooch on the forehead and be like, thank you.
And Esther's like, no, do not touch my son. Do not touch my son. And he's just like, oh.
I start to stumble away. I start to stumble as if to fall because of Esther.
Mother, calm down. Don't you tell me to call, and they're having this whole thing. And he's just like, it's okay. Just keep going back to Janice. And Janice, you can see at her table is just like head in hand about this whole thing.
Well, that's a first.
Yes. And then you do hear Esther say, why are you being so nice to her? She's the one who stole Etienne from me. She stole Etienne.
Like you could ever get Etienne.
Wow. I hear that and I look at her and I say, honey, you can have it. And then I will say, honey, you can have him. And then I want that to be my meddling move. I want to see what I get out of her with that. If you can get him. Thank you, Ben.
I'm not sure how that.
I don't know that it's a day or a night move. I just want to fuck with her to see how much more information she's going to give me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to like fuck with her until
Is this the Gold Crown Mysteries move?
This is the Gold Crown Mysteries move.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
All right, let's lay it out here. Let's look at the rule so that we can lay it out. Once per
yes.
session, when
Thank
any
you,
Maven
Ben.
says, this reminds me of something that happens to Amanda Delcourt, work with the other players to describe how something that is happening in the situation reminds the Mavens of an event from one of the Gold Crown Mysteries. At a minimum, you must provide the following information: the name of the Gold Crown Mystery in question, the problem or situation Amanda found herself in that is similar to what the Mavens are experiencing, and how Amanda eventually overcame the problem or the situation. What you got?
All right. What's the case of?
Because what you're trying to do here is to manipulate her into revealing information by making her think that she does not have it, right? That's what's happening here.
That she doesn't have information?
No, that she doesn't have it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, sort of like Amanda Delacourt, like said something so clever that, you know, about someone not having game, that the person was like, I have game and a clue for you.
That's exactly right. I have a game and I'm the murderer.
No, okay, I did some research. The Autumn Sonata.
The case of the Autumn Sonata?
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I will send my reference for everybody, but yes.
The case of the Autumn Sonata. Okay.
Is this a bodice ripper that we're about to see?
This is basically, I just looked up famous toxic moms of the 90s. Yeah, this is like a toxic mother-daughter relationship.
The 1978 drama film written and directed by Ingmar Bergman?
Yep.
Ingmar Bergman. She's Dutch. Not really.
Guilt, neglect, selfishness, repression. We like this. It's giving.
And we've fulfilled the rest of the move in which we said, like, we said what Amanda was trying to do.
Well, we said how it's similar, but what did Amanda do? How did she trick? How did she do it? How did she get it?
I think maybe basically like there was she spread a rumor that she and that the son of this mother who she suspected was in some way that what came to her for all of his for his advice,
that he got someone pregnant.
No, that she had become. This is because it's about a mother's love, right? So it's not less about sex in that case. It's more about like the ability to mother, right? And like he was coming to her for all and then she was like, and she was just like, and so she showed this woman in this moment how bad of a job, like a really bad example of herself as a mother, like what she shouldn't do. And the son still was like into it. And she purposely did a bad thing to make her be like, and this is who you like? I give you the clue now. Am I making sense? Can you guys make that better?
To write what I have just summarized. The case of the Autumn Sonata is a toxic mom psychodrama romance in which Amanda Delacourt spread a rumor that the son of her prime suspect had been coming to her for motherly advice so that her suspect would freak out and divulge information in bragging about her mothering skills.
And it was revealed that they were actually having an incestuous relationship.
Yeah!
Oh, great.
So using that information, are you going to try to twist that knife in this particular moment and say...
Yeah, I think I'm going to say, you know, Sheriff, if you ever wanted to join our book club, we'd be more than welcome to have you. When I do that little finger thing that I do on his chest.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah!
So this, to be clear, what you're trying to do then is to get a 12 plus to a meddling move. That's what you want, because you want some clues here.
Oops, did I?
Yes.
Ooh.
No,
She is seething. Like if it was possible, like she is literally that moment in Clue with flames on the side of my face.
Heaving breath.
Breathing breath. Yes, that whole thing. Yes. That is what is happening to her, and she cannot form words. And you can see that Wyman is just like and like rubbing the back of his neck because he's uncomfortable, but also like confused, but also like he just saw Baby on the stage, and he's just like and like continuing to stammer, and Esther is just like grabbing him away. But what you can see is that in all of the detritus, that like specifically the stuff that Esther and Wyman were around, you find this very curious thing in a trash can, like one of those big, large Tupperware trash cans. And this one is next to the tent that was there, his tent the night before. And what you find is a very, very bloodied shirt. So that's one thing. And I owe you a void clue. But I will say that this is what you got out of that particular conversation.
A bloody shirt.
A blood-soaked shirt. That looks like it has been... Yeah, you remember that the act was fairly bloody. So, like, there's that, but you also know that it was supposed to be fake.
Thank you for your time.
I'm going to give the sheriff a container of soup, and we're going to make our way out of here.
Oh, finally, it's my grad students. I've been looking for you everywhere. Let's go. Let's go.
God damn it.
Baby.
Yes.
As you're sort of making your way, you do see that like that Wyman has sort of stuck back, and he sort of like waves at you, and he gestures for you to come over to him before you leave entirely.
Damn it.
Do you come over?
Scared. I'm gonna do it, but I'm nervous the whole time.
You are gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And he doesn't say anything. He just he like keeps his hand over his mouth.
Hey, that's my thing.
No, he's keeping his hand over his mouth, and he just like hands you a little slip of paper.
Oh, what does it say?
So we'll say that like Esther's trying to control him and pull him away, but he wanted to have like a one-on-one with you. And Eddi-Rue, like Esther is just sort of shooting daggers at you, but is like not like, but it has like a death grip or like has like a death watch on her son this entire time. Inside the little paper that you got there, Miss Baby, what it says is, it says, "Don't trust Janice."
I didn't need paper for that.
And that's the void clue.
Love it. Great.
Lane, you've reconnected with your grad students. Doris, you were helping Baby, and you were watching all the kerfuffle happen. What do y'all want to do now?
I think we should probably leave.
Yeah, before they see us with Professor Talking Dolphin.
Yeah, we should make our way out. I came to deliver soup. I have done my job. I don't want to be too more suspicious.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should go to the museum or if we should go back to somebody's house.
Or do we feel ready to theorize?
I think we need one more, because if we get I think I have a theory, but I don't know that I could support it with a roll. Do you know what I mean?
Gotta get lucky 13 clues.
Yeah.
So some things that are on the table still is you could go talk to Krista Junke, and there's also Patrick Paglia, who was the who I think Trudy told you about, but again, everything is blurry because of the holiday. Who is the person who is the constructionist for the tricks?
Yeah.
Mm.
These are people. I mean, you don't have to talk to them, but you could.
And Krista was the blood artist.
The blood artist.
Surrogate.
And the surrogate. Yeah.
And of course, there's Frank Spitznagel, who Eddi-Rue fucked, but nobody really questioned. Baby just sort of stared at.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Finger blasted.
I didn't. Well, he wouldn't let me.
Men like that have no imagination.
Frank is not,
He's not a piano player, that's for sure. Okay.
No, his sleight of hand is.
Of course, there's the tattoo artist. I forgot. There's also the tattoo artist, Salty Nancy.
Oh, right.
I would say we should go do a visit to at least one of them before we make a call. But we definitely need to get out of the building. So we are vamoosing. I drop off all of my utensils, obviously.
We're power walking towards the next destination, I feel.
Doris, do you have any wishes, any desires?
I feel like let's talk to Patrick.
I love it.
Yeah.
You guys can talk shop.
There you go.
Oh, maybe he knows things about fake eyes.
So Patrick's shop. Patrick has a shop in downtown Brindlewood Bay, and it is definitely a workshop. It's kind of like it's not really an open door sort of policy, but it's clearly a place that overheats quite a bit. And so he's got it open today. It's like a little garage half thing attached to some other building, into an alley. When you sort of look at it, and he is working, but what other sort of tricks and contraptions do you see in this little makeshift shed or garage space?
I think we see a partially constructed metal globe that the circus uses to like ride motorcycles in. Do you know those ones where they like ride upside down and stuff? I think it's like a half finished one that he's like, it's in the back that like he got a commission and they didn't pay, so he didn't finish it.
And there's a really elaborate Rube Goldberg machine that like goes along all the walls.
Yes, this motherfucker's the one who wins every year.
Definitely. And there's nothing rolling through it at the moment, but it's like starts in one corner and it goes like kind of all the way across the shop to the other side.
I love this. Yes.
Baby, what else are you seeing inside this workshop?
Molding clay.
Awesome. Molding clay.
Kory.
Are we getting to ghost mode here?
Ghost?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you approach him, and you can already, as you're coming close upon this, you get an unbelievable smell of weed. It's just overpowering. It's like coming all from everything. And as he sort of sees you come up, he's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm just smoking some cigarettes. No biggie. No biggie. No biggie. I'll just put him." And he
Lane.
I'll just put it out. I'll just
Lane.
Sorry.
I don't have any problem with this. This is fine.
I thought you just were. Oh, I figured every time I see someone with a cigarette, you always ask them for it. I assumed.
Oh, you don't take someone's J.
No, it's not a J. It's not a no. I
It's a puff and pass thing, but you don't take someone's J.
Yeah. Sorry. Who are you? What are you? Did you come here to buy, or you're not magicians? Maybe you're magicians.
I am not a magician.
You're very short for a magician. I guess that could work. That could be a shtick. Mm.
A magician never reveals whether or not they're a magician. So
that's very true. It's very true. Very true.
Oh, well, I'm Doris. It's a pleasure to meet you. We just figured we'd stop by. Some weird things have been going on in the town, and we're just very fascinated by the whole magic show yesterday, and just a little curious about kind of the inner workings of how those things get crafted.
We are not with one of those documentaries about how magic works. We are not. We don't do the. We keep the kayfabe.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how lots of things work, and you can see like he's like putting his sketches and notebooks sort of to the side. He's like, there's like a lot of secrets and stuff, but yeah. We wanted to know some more.
Honestly, we saw the show, the Grievous show, yesterday.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that, I mean, I used to work for him, but he fired me, so I don't work for him anymore.
Well,
he fired me in like the weirdest way possible. I was like, "Where are you going to get your tricks, dude?" And he was like, it's not going to be tricks anymore. Like all Back to the Future, right? Where we're going, there are no roads. It's like, come on, just tell me who you're going to be working with. I got a right to know. We've been working together for like a decade. So like, why now? You don't mind if I smoke? And he pulls out, it's just a cigarette. It's just another cigarette. And it's clearly weed.
Oh, I'll join you. And Lane smokes not weed.
We may be old, but we can still smell quite well. And we're fine with it. It's not a big deal.
We're very close with our very close friend. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The sheriff kind of gives me some issues sometimes.
Do you know Teddy? Did you know Teddy? Do you know Teddy?
Teddy? Yeah, I know Teddy. I haven't seen Teddy in a long time, though.
We are so worried about her.
She grew the best weed.
She's our best friend.
Oh.
I do have some bad news about the grow room, and it was in the basement, and that flooded, and it was a whole thing.
Flooded?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a big way.
It was scary.
That's so weird. And he like rifles through some papers. He's like, because I found this the other day in my stuff and I didn't draw it, but I've been to Teddy's a number of times. And he hands you this map. And it's a map of residential streets in Brindlewood Bay. And several homes are circled. And one of them is Teddy's. He's like, it was so weird because like I didn't draw this and I really don't know how it ended up in my stuff, but it's like, it's her house, I'm pretty sure, because I've been there a bunch, right? Because, you know, she gave me like a lot of knotweed. And anyway.
You could say pot. We all smoke pot.
Right. I forgot. Anyway, you can have that, though. I don't know who drew it. It's just in my stuff.
What are the other houses circled?
None that you can immediately identify right now.
I'm just making sure they weren't ours.
Are they in a pattern?
Good questions.
Yeah.
All good questions.
Is Trombone Man safe?
I don't know. You haven't heard him in a while, have you?
Oh, crap.
Maybe his trombone got rusty?
Jesus fucking
Oh, Ben. Cut that from the podcast. Cut that from the podcast.
Do not cut that from the podcast.
Oh my God. So that's a void clue for you all to have a map there.
Amazing.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Of five houses?
Several. Several. A map of residential streets in Brindlewood Bay with several houses circled. One of them is Teddy's.
Could I hang on to that?
Yeah. I don't need it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any friend of Teddy's, I just miss her, you know.
We do too.
Mm-hmm.
She called me a genius. It was very sweet of her, I think, to call me a genius. I don't think I'm a genius, but I do like my drawings. I come up with some cool stuff, so I was pretty bummed about the whole firing thing.
I sort of nudged Doris at that.
Doris nods. And Doris says, Patrick, could you show us how this, what's it called? This zigzaggy, and she points all around the shack. Can you show us how that works? And my goal is that if he turns around to put a ball in it, I want to pocket his like little pile of drawings.
Yeah. So he does this whole thing and he's just like, as it goes up. And he's like, and so see, like the centripetal force of it really makes the whole thing. What was I saying? And it does this cool, like backy flippy thingy. But yeah, you're, roll me, let's say it's a day move. He's not like the riskiest person to be around, but let's just say you got to roll me a day move to steal his stuff.
Day move to steal his stuff. Yeah.
Day move. Ah.
Okay, I'm afraid that that he'll see me and he'll kick us out and not want to talk to us, which is scary because obviously he knows Teddy pretty well and maybe could be helpful. Already has been helpful in figuring out where she's at and what happened to her. All right, so let's see if I can use some stuff because I rolled a 6. Okay, so if I use a cozy place thing, I can roll again for advantage. Is that how that works?
You add one dice.
Add one. Okay, cool. Add another dice. Cool. Then I think I have some postcards that I bought from the Lighthouse Museum, and I want to just like as I take the pile of stuff, like put them in the place of it and kind of like cover it with something else, so it's like takes up the same amount of space on his desk.
Fantastic. What is the result of your roll?
I will roll one more, which is another 1. So now I'm at 7. Oh wait, but I didn't add a thing.
Yeah. What is this? Is this?
This is probably composure. If your action requires a steady hand, which clearly Doris's hand is shaking a lot, but that adds another 1. So now
I also do hate to say it, but it's roll 3 and take the highest 2, right?
Yes, it's roll 3 and take the highest 2.
Oh no. Okay. Well then I rolled a 5, a 1, and a 1.
So you have 6 plus your composure, which is 1.
7. I'll take it.
I have to tell you how your actions will leave you vulnerable, and then you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Okay.
you know that you're not going to successfully fully get away with this, that he's going to turn around just in time to see you doing something to his papers. That is what you know is going to happen. In terms of keeping you vulnerable. So if you want to back down, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a crown because the more Doris thinks about it, the more she's like, maybe it was Teddy on the answering machine. And so I don't want to risk anything. So I'm going to put on a crown of I'm going to put on a crown of the queen. I'm going to do a scene in the present day showing a burgeoning romance. Ooh, what could it be? Who could it be with?
I don't wonder what it could be. I know.
Let's actually then say, let's save that for our next session and we'll start with it. But like, we know that you're going to do it because I would like us to actually have a full, that'd be fun.
I want play by play.
Love it.
So Doris and Ginger, I'm assuming, but who knows? Yes. Doris is maybe very busy.
Doris is very straightforward, but not straight. Correct.
So you're able to get that slid in perfectly and have taken some of his notes for the stuff he was working on, which you can take a look at in a minute. But he's just in awe of his thing, and he sort of looks back to you. He's like, yeah, so that's that cool thing.
That's remarkable.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. What?
I just wanted to offer you a little bit of, I don't know, wisdom, if you may. You know, a really great way to keep it on the down low, you know, the smell, is just to burn some popcorn in the microwave.
I'm sorry, what?
For the weed, the smell. You were worried about us knowing about the weed.
That makes sense.
Just burn some popcorn in the microwave. I see you have a whole thing of Pop Secret.
You are wise.
Anyway, Homer Simpson into the hedges. Wait, so we got a clue out of that, right?
You haven't looked at it yet, but Doris got something. And then you also gotten, I don't know if you've gotten any actual specific clues about this case, though. No.
Damn it.
Well, that he doesn't work for him anymore.
Well, that doesn't, I mean, it's up to you.
So I guess that is the meddling thing. He's like, so Patrick, just, you know, let's burn some popcorn over here. Really quickly. While we do it, I want to ask you, who made this trick then?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I know. Oh, you haven't. I mean, I don't know. You're friends with Teddy.
We're such good friends with Teddy.
So the last time we talked about some stuff, he was coming over here and he was like talking to me about the tricks and about what he wanted to do with the Resurrection Act and everything. And there was this person with them and they had this whole argument, and I didn't really see it because, you know, like they went and had it over there and I don't know, but they had this whole argument because Tom was like talking about stuff he shouldn't have been talking about in front of the wrong people, I guess. Anyway, they got into it really, really heavily. And then he comes all the way back here and he's like, the trick isn't going to work the way I want it to work. And there had been problems with the trick. You know, he didn't like how it worked or whatever. But like, you don't need to be a dick and bring other people into it.
Yeah, absolutely. What did that person look like or whatever? I'll roll for this if you need me to.
No, you all have like rolled actually because you keep getting 12s. Like you actually, I'm trying to catch up.
You owe us clues.
I've been trying to catch up.
Oh, great.
In terms of advantages. Yeah. So that's why. You're absolutely welcome to roll again.
I mean, I just want to know a physical description of what the other person was like.
Well, I didn't get a good look. Medium.
Okay.
Like red in the center, but
man, woman, otherwise?
I the voice kind of sounded like it could be medium.
So it's sort of like a Miss Cleo style voice.
Full on fake Jamaican accent.
No. Now I just feel like we're doing this to see if we can't get Meeks to do one of these accents.
At a certain point, Meeks.
You don't have to do the Miss Cleo accent. I
We just want you to do some-
What is a medium voice, but Miss
Some
Cleo?
culturally insensitive accent from you.
I can't think of another medium voice. Can you?
No, honestly, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a good look. I wasn't paying attention because we were having this disagreement about this other thing. But like I said, I know that they were arguing about Tom talking too much about stuff that he shouldn't be talking about.
And that's our clue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the clue is, because we have the trick never worked, but the clue is now somebody knew the trick wasn't going to work.
Well,
You don't know if that's exactly what it was about, but yeah.
Just that they argued.
We may interpret it that way for
They
sure.
argued because he was talking too much to people who shouldn't be in the know.
About something.
And Doris, did you do the thing where you told the genius anything yet?
I just have to keep the genius's plan safe. So far, so good.
Got it.
I will tell you that the drawings from your perspective, Doris, look like they might be a contraption that is meant to make it look like a slaughter happens. For what it's worth. It's not a void clue or anything. It's just what the plans look like. Yeah, so he's just sort of staring at you all and he's like, yeah, that's all I got, man. I mean, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, do you know where Krista Junkie is?
Krista? Yeah. She's been hanging out at Salty Nancy's.
Oh. Two birds.
Convenient.
Ain't it
one
just?
stoner.
Hey, it was great to meet you, Patrick. And remember, just burn some popcorn, okay?
Yeah, excellent.
Everybody knows that smell. Nothing can beat it.
As you all are turning to go, you do hear like a really loud thud hit the outside of the garage. And when you go to look, you see that it's a bird who's just like run headlong into the side of the workshop. And then another bird does it. And then another bird. And like Patrick is just like staring at the weed and staring at what's going on because he's not really sure what's going on. But there's just like so many birds. I would say like a dozen, just like all of a sudden just like come and attack in this particular way. And they're all sort of like banging into this garage.
Is this garage like, does it look like a really clean window?
It does not.
I would like to use the opportunity to come up with an occult move based off of this. I think we have to. And I think it's gotta be like a moment. Oh, geez. What is the move that we're doing here? What is the actual, this is such a fascinating like game mechanic because it's really open-ended.
Catching a bird midair really fast.
No.
So my understanding of the occult move is that you're trying to get in touch with some sort of supernatural force. You're trying so when you were trying to commune with Teddy or trying to like do this whole thing, that made perfect sense to me. Baby, you've got an idea.
I just thought of it. We could use the eyeball somehow. I forgot to ask him about the eyeball, so may as well just whip it out.
That's amazing.
That's a great idea.
Hell yeah. Eyeball!
Yeah. So you're going to show this to Patrick?
Yes, before we go. But with the birds, I don't know how that can happen. I was gonna be like, "Go! Eyeball, go!"
Yeah, he looks and he's like, "That's an eyeball."
Is it like a magic one, like a prop one? We're curious.
You want me to see if it's real?
No.
And so he's like gonna grab into the bag and he's just like pulling it out and he's like he plops it down on the table and he's looking at it and he's like, looks real.
I'm just gonna grab it just gently. I was gonna say, thanks for clearing that up. And then I'm going to look at the eyeball and I'm going to turn it so it looks at the birds. And then we're just gonna hold it up to my own eye for a second. Not touching, but just hold it up to my own eye for a second. Just, I don't know, for a feeling.
Starts making the guardian sound from Breath of the Wild.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay. And you want this to be an occult move, or do you just want to see what'll happen before you make it an occult move? What do you want to do?
Should.
I think I want to make it an occult move.
Yes.
So what's the intention?
I want to use it to see the void. I want to know. I want to be able to see. Maybe, I mean, like, this is why it gets a little weird, right? It's because I don't know what's going on with the void at all, you know? So I'm kind of need to collaborate a little bit with you on this. But like, you know, in my high fantasy brain, I'm like ley lines. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, or like ethereal plane conversation. You know, like what is the force that is driving these birds to do this?
I mean, to continue the Zelda joke, but this is the lens of truth you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. Right. Like, can we make this
our seeing eye,
a literal arcane eye object? Like,
yeah,
that is shareable. Now it's a thing that could be passed around among the four of us.
Eyeball.
I love it. I hope. Okay, somebody write it down about what it is.
Nick.
And let's roll it. Let's see what happened.
What are we calling this again?
I'm too nervous. I got to roll sensitivity on this and not get another void crown.
Like Eye of the Void.
I like that. That sounds good.
And I think specifically because you're also trying to spy a little bit, right? Like it's like using a tool of the void against itself.
Yeah,
like, does that sound fair?
Yeah,
like Sauron's ring.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm very excited, Eddi-Rue.
Hell yes, eyeball, go!
Yes.
Go gadget vision.
Now, I have a question. Is there any way, because this is an occult move, is this a boostable thing? Right? Can I use any of my cozy items?
So what I've been checking off is that you've gotten extra advantages because of the things that people have been getting on the day and night moves that you've been rolling, right? And on the day and night moves, you get an extra advantage or an extra benefit in some way. And so you have one more. So if you want to use that, I think this would be a good time.
An extra benefit, meaning just a straight up 12 or like...
Say like we could make it an advantage roll, maybe.
Okay.
Does that seem like a fair?
I think that this is a very, very good use of that.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
No pressure. And you get to add sensitivity, don't you?
Yeah, when I have a +1 to it. Mm-hmm.
I'm also realizing this is the glasses from They Live.
I love that too. That terrible fun movie. I love that movie so much.
So good.
It's a 12.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You fucking serious?
I
That's
rolled
amazing.
2 5s and a 6, and I have a +1.
Yeah.
20 vision.
Woo.
Oh,
That's great.
Okay. So
That's
on
great.
a hit, it works.
Yes, it does.
And it is now a move all Mavens can use for the rest of the game. And your roll stands. Okay.
Eyeball.
And my roll stands. Does that mean it's just when we get it, it's a 12? If somebody uses it, it's an auto 12?
Shut the
I
fuck up.
feel like when you use it, let's see.
It's more like a tool, right? It's just something that tells us something that we couldn't see otherwise.
Yeah, but I feel like you would have to roll each time you use it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the roll stands is that's sort of the only reason I say it is because the roll stands, and if it's a 7 through a 9, then you have to put on a Crown of the Void, which would indicate that like if you want to use it, you accept that you're getting a Crown of the Void to get this information.
Yeah.
But I don't want to rules lawyer. I'm not trying to rules lawyer or anything because this is all just like, you know. Does that break your game?
Prescription.
I have no
That's how far
idea.
you can see.
Because we've invented a magic item.
We literally have invented a magic item. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I have no idea. I'm going to look at it and see.
Holy crap. If we just created a magic item that does not have negative consequences for this game, wow.
All the time.
Magic.
I mean, I guess, okay, here's a negative consequence. We're carrying around an eyeball that belongs to the void.
Yeah. I was going to say the whole town's going to be like, and there goes those weird old ladies who carry the eyeball around and look through it for no reason.
And the void's going to want that back.
Well, and can it see through it? Can it see us through it?
It goes back in the glove bag like we have discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all.
But like every time it comes out of the bag, it's an air tag.
Well,
I love
that's why we
that.
put it right back in as soon as you're done.
That's great, though. They know where we are. They know what we're looking at.
Oh, it's so good.
Ah,
Eddi-Rue,
I
Yes.
love this. It's so
Yes,
good.
this is great.
you put this detached eyeball up to your eye, and you're looking at these birds, a dozen of them that have flown into this. And you see through the eye that they're all still twitching, but not twitching like dead twitches. Like it's like they're already like they're still breathing and they're still very, very much alive. And when you move it back down, it looks like they're all dead. But when you do this, it's like, no, they're still very much alive.
Ooh. I put the eyeball down and I put it, I say, you keep that very safe, baby. And then I say, thank you so much, Patrick. It's lovely to have met you. Popcorn. I as we're going, I just pick up one of those dead birds and I put it in my purse.
I have love.
And sorry, are we counting that as a void clue?
Yeah, I think so. The birds. Yes, the birds are a void clue. That they appear to still be alive.
When viewed through the eye.
But that they were also, trying to kill themselves. I think both of those things work together.
Yes. So I just want to get us to on our way. I feel like that's the thing that like on our way, I want to be like pit stop on our way to wherever so that everybody gets a chance to look through this eye and see what I saw. I don't know if we just need to play that out. I just want it to be a thing where it's like that, like everybody has done this.
Yeah, I think we can just kind of check mark it.
So that you know it, so that I can show you, look at this bird through that eye. I swear to God.
Yeah, it looks like it's alive, like 100% alive, but it's dead in your hand.
And then I'm just going to like drop the bird once everybody's had a turn and we're away from Patrick,
So, ladies, do you think you have enough to theorize?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
We all go back to Teddy's house.
That's flooded and just mushy.
So sad.
Who took the big bong?
Me.
Baby.
Go to babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. It's literally 2 houses over. While we are doing that, this is just a petty note for the plot, but I'm going to turn a fan towards Frank's house because I want to get him contact high while we're doing this. But, okay. Moving on to other things. Let's talk about this. Let's solve a mystery, gang. So, man joins cult. Cult gets weird.
So we know that he wasn't always involved.
Correct. This was like a sudden turn of events around tattoo time.
And we do know the tattoo artist hangs out with the surrogate.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
But the surrogate, or at least Hugh, is cut out of this. Hugh's not a part of this, right?
He is very obviously not the person who did this.
Definitely.
Absolutely
Definitely.
And we know that the tattoo lady is located at the docks. So definitely had exposure to people who might use boats.
And we know that he's involved in some way with the midwives of the Fragrant Void. Fragrant Void?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because as soon as this death happened, all these people, the dean who is definitely involved and the dramaturg who's definitely involved didn't want us there. And we know that he was trying to do a resurrection ritual. And when looking through that eye, it makes the bird look like it's alive after it dies. And that is another kind of resurrection.
Illusions.
Or alternate reality life, right? Like an attempt to die and pass through. And fucking there was that pool of blood in the bowl next to the fucking picture of Grievous in the guy's closet that Lane saw.
Right. I mean, clearly, right. The guy had a fucking bowl of blood, right?
Mhm.
Like, right. Olan had a bowl of blood next to a picture of the Great Grievous.
One would assume it is
A
Grievous's blood.
silver bowl of blood.
No less than a silver bowl of Grievous's blood. I'm looking at you all. I'm not even fucking looking at the list. I'm just looking at you guys to see what your reaction is to my bullshit. But Meeks made a reaction, and that made me happy.
It seems like the way this is going, the way the clues are pointing us is that like the midwives are behind this directly, and like we are seeing that they're behind this. And so that like the people we suspect like are the people we are fingering non-sexually for this murder. But like this is cracking open the wider conspiracy and bringing us to the void mystery, right?
Yeah.
Like we are fine. Like they are going to financially benefit from this, but they're not doing it for the money as much as for the ritual.
The
Mhm.
void. The money just had to go somewhere, and it goes to people who are directly involved so that they have funds if they need to do more research or to get perhaps another sacrifice to go over.
2 minds. 1, the ritual did work.
2, oceanography is not a real science and it's actually evil.
It's true. It's just about salt. No. 1, the ritual did work. Grievous is on the other side. But I think it's probably more interesting because it's more interesting that Grievous was a liability. And so they got rid of him. Like Killigan was a liability.
But they killed him in a completely like unsolvable fashion, right? Like anyone who solves this is going to be seen as crazy pointing at all of us.
Because
Yes.
we got close the first time with Killigan, so they had to be a little bit smarter this time.
So the question is, who can we trust? And I all of a sudden wonder if we can trust the sheriff. The dude, the fucking who gave you that note saying not to trust Janice.
I think we can trust him by himself, but he is very hard to get by himself because of reasons. Esther doesn't have big enough brain to do anything.
No,
She's just malicious because she is pure spite.
but Janice might be evil.
And Janice would be getting
Yeah.
close to Esther to be close to the sheriff to influence things.
And we're a threat.
Oh, duh.
Okay.
So much power.
So Bloodsoaked letter of explanation of pay cut to Trudy.
What if Janice is a midwife of,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, she
Like,
is.
She's a
She's the one that
suspect.
has crossed
She's
over.
been creepily smiling since like episode 1.
She's
so,
been
Yeah.
loving the drama around us.
Mhm.
I think she's the first one that has come over. And
But right now, I feel like we're theorizing void mystery stuff, and we need to be theorizing
But
this
I think
mystery stuff. But
I do genuinely think what we are doing here is we are theorizing void mystery stuff that happens to be behind this mystery.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I'm just like mechanically going.
We're not
all right.
using the void clues. We're just using these clues. And it's the damn midwives.
So we found a shard of mirror, which ties directly back to the midwives because of all the mirror shit. Certainly all the mirror shit that I've been dealing with.
I mean, the shard of mirror, I mean, I just got a glimpse of this silver bowl, but who's to say it wasn't a mirrored bowl missing a chunk out of it?
There you go.
That's very interesting. I like
Yeah.
that. An offer of another big world tour that was very divisive. He's not going because he thinks he's doing something higher. He wants to come back here for real for the resurrection.
Okay, here's a question about Krista Ryunki. Okay, this is fucking insane. So tell me if I'm stupid here. But what was Krista Ryunki secretly hired by the midwives to like be impregnated with the reincarnation of the Great Grievous?
I mean, it's absolutely crossed my
Yeah,
mind. Like,
yeah.
absolutely has crossed my mind.
Definitely a demon baby in some way. I agree.
But okay, but here's the thing. The baby was Hugh's thing. Hugh wanted it, and Grievous was mad about it. Right?
Yeah, Grievous didn't want to be a baby. Grievous wanted to be a man.
That's the title of this episode.
And the midwives don't even have to do childcare because, well, someone else
All
is
right.
going to
So
do
the
that.
rope to hang Grievous was real, not a trick. We watched him hang himself.
That was a moment of sanity to break the cycle. Nah.
The tattoo is on his neck. That tattoo is on his neck. That tattoo's got to be magic.
I think they might have we have to figure out where the eyeball came from as well. Because could that have been like underneath the tattoo and then just like come out when it exploded?
Well, the eyeball is a day later. The eyeball came to us from the dog.
Chomping on eyeballs. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I don't have a way to connect this yet, but I feel like it feels to me like Grievous, they were really hanging their hopes on him to figure out this resurrection thing, and everyone was like putting a lot of pressure on him, and then finally like he just didn't do it in time, or the midwives were really done with him, and that's why he died.
Or they got the information they needed out of him.
Yeah, so they conned him into thinking he was the promised one, and he just turned out to be a dud. And so
they used him as a test subject, right?
They gave him a parlor trick with the eye tattoo. Said you can do, like, you're not going to die. You can hang yourself all day. It's going to keep you alive, right?
Right, and then he does it, but then they get to do something to him because they have a recently killed man on their hands with their special magic tattoo. Their demon tattoo. How many times has he done this trick? How many deaths has he endured? And who holds the trigger to just let him experience all of them all at once?
Yeah.
Well, and I think, right, like in terms of physical evidence, we have a bowl of his blood that has a part of the bowl at the scene of the crime. So like we know they collected this guy's blood and like killed him for it. And like we know that it's crazy magic shit. But to prove that this was a real bona fide murder, like we don't have to say, and then they blew him up using magic to make him experience 15 deaths at once. We can just say, like, you know, they set up this crazy kill device that they were gonna commission from Patrick, and they had someone else make it and destroyed it. Mm-hmm. When we know that's not true.
The thing that I feel like this is absolutely what happened. This is absolutely the story. The question is, who are we revealing this to?
Right now, you don't have to reveal anything to anybody. You can figure it out and theorize, and then you can decide. Like the whole thing is you get to decide who did it, and then I can present you an opportunity to bring your evidence to somebody, but you can also say, nope, we don't want to do that.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's go down the list. Blood-soaked letter of explanation to pay cut to Trudy.
I feel like this is because he turned down the world tour. So, and he was probably like, well, Trudy, you grew up in Brindlewood Bay, so I don't have to pay you as much overall in general because we're just staying here so I can do my weird shit. Oh, and wasn't there a mirror in the dressing room tent also?
There was, and there was a broken shard in there that was not a part of that.
Right, because that mirror was whole or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is to say, the evidence, the mirror, was what they stabbed him through the eye neck tattoo with. That shard of mirror, they stabbed him with the thing, and that was the release valve.
Ooh, I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
But then we have a physical murder weapon.
That's the murder weapon.
Because it is a physical murder weapon.
Mm-hmm. 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 I like that a lot. I mean, we know that he was kind of obsessed with going back for real, and the tattoo is connected from Salty and Nancy. That's connected. Paranoid about being watched. I've been getting messages from people about resurrection while on tour.
I mean, I think maybe here's a crazy one. Maybe he was doing this act more than he was supposed to.
Mm.
That's great. That's why they killed him.
Secret surrogate to host the reincarnation or resurrection child.
But what if that's a problem? Because again, Grievous wasn't into that. I feel like the surrogate is actually a problem for the midwives.
Yeah.
That could have been something to pull Grievous out. And he freaked out because it was just like, we can't be doing this. Like, I need to follow these very certain rules. And so it kind of broke a major rule. And so they were like, nah.
Whose sperm is it too? It's the thing. If it's Grievous's kid, like biological kid, that could also be tied up into this stuff.
Oh, so he needs to die before this kid's born.
What if, okay, because Huth said that they had been talking about a family and then things got weird with Grievous. If the surrogacy happened before he got the tattoo, I just lost my train of thought.
No, and they pressured him to get the tattoo because the surrogate was a problem in the first place, and the tattoo was No, I like that for sure.
And then that would explain also why he was like, we were on the same page, and then all of a sudden he didn't want this baby, and I maybe wonder if like he's worried for the baby or the midwives were like using the baby as leverage.
I was just saying it could be possible that Frank is involved. Like I'm just saying,
Frank's got to be involved in this.
I mean, he's been against you all from the start. So,
but that doesn't necessarily mean he was against Grievous. I just want to point out that, like, as much as he's been against us from the start, I just want to entertain the idea that Frank is perhaps a secret good guy when it comes to the.
I don't think Frank has anything bad to do with Grievous. We obviously have beef from Home Depot, but that's.
Right. And we learned that Frank is his former partner, and that, like, you know, clearly knowing anything about this would and what could theoretically happen to this, you know, guy you know really well could be a problem. You know, it can make you want to drink a lot.
Frank is in the Midwives of the Fragrant Void, and Frank had the connection to get Grievous because they needed Grievous for ritual testing,
But bringing in his friend is part of just like a continual issue with how he copes.
The trick never worked.
Because it wasn't a real trick, right? It was a real thing that was not a trick.
Which actually ties in two of our clues.
And so, I mean, from a magician's perspective, every time it happened, it was a fluke that he survived.
Bloodied shirt from the act produced by the sheriff, but the blood is real.
I'll throw out there that it could be that this could be Tom's blood on somebody else's shirt.
Yeah, who do we think stabbed with the mirror?
I think it's the dean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted that sweet, sweet oceanography department money.
Here's the thing, though. It wasn't Frank. Could have been Janice.
I was closer to her.
That's right. You were with Janice.
Yeah. Me and Janice were hanging out.
And it could have been the dean.
And the dean after the whole death happened was like, no, everyone go enjoy the carnival. Like,
and it wasn't Etienne because he was with me.
And then he sent us off the scent deliberately because he knew that we had evidence against him.
Yeah. And the dean was the one that made the calls, which, like, I feel like the dean is the dirty hands here.
Well, the dean is responsible for sure.
Yeah.
Whether or not the dean actually did the thing.
Mm-hmm. I guess could maybe the dean pressured or coerced Trudy into stabbing him because then he would have a good scapegoat.
I think it's enough that no one suspects the dean. Like, why would they even be connected?
Trudy's so innocent of this.
Yeah. Trudy's got trauma. We don't need to give her more. Protect Trudy.
Well, what if this sucks, but what if he tricked her into like doing the thing with the mirror that killed him? So like, you know, she didn't mean to like stab him even. She just like gave him this mirror shard and he exploded.
But she wasn't in the room. She was out. She went out for a smoke and she came back and he was exploded.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
she stepped outside. So somebody, she stepped outside. Somebody went in and did the thing and got out. And their shirt was covered in blood and they threw it off in the garbage. So the murderer's shirt is the shirt that we found.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great.
And this is a moment where you can retcon and say the people outside of the tent, who was really buttoned up with a coat?
Was it Dr. Tuberculosis? Is it a really wet shirt since she was
in the ocean?
Well, you do remember that she liked to wear bright colors, so maybe it is a brightly colored shirt, if that is a person that you would like to accuse.
It could have been Demeter, potentially. Because she knows about the midwives, right?
It could have been Demeter.
Yeah. It could have been a similar, I don't know.
That also means that next episode we do get to have a Joker interrogation with Demeter.
I think based off of our suspect list, the only people who I think it's either the Dean or Demeter. Like that, those are our options to have done the dirty work, because it's not Trudy, and it's not Wendy, and it's not Hugh. Tom's dead. It could be Tara, I guess, but she was elsewhere.
She was down by the tide pools for a while, at least.
Frank was out of the tent, or Frank was suspiciously close to the tent.
He was close, but not super close. He was like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm turning around on Frank. Oh God, I got finger blasted by a murderer.
They murder people. The fingers murder people, not pussies.
Now that's the episode title. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Frank now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I blew up a guy intentionally or not, I would drink a lot too.
Drink a lot?
Yeah.
Frank it is. We need to come up with the official Krista Yunke story and explain the
That he was arguing with
Patrick's
the Dean.
garage and who that was.
He's
Oh,
arguing with
definitely the Dean. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, we just need the official answer on what was going on with Krista Yunke, Junkie.
she wasn't supposed to be the one to carry, and she wasn't pregnant with who she was supposed to be.
But Hugh did the thing. That's the thing. So Hugh, how did Hugh do this thing that like pulled a fast one on Tom?
I'm assuming if they had wanted to start a family before, that they would probably have vials in the little fridge to be able to give
Turkey baster style? Like, is that how she did
Well,
it?
this was the 90s were the like popularization of in vitro fertilization.
That's true.
thing. So that like totally tracks.
Oh God, that's so gross, but I love it.
Are you ready to roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's going to do this? Who's going to roll this theorize?
My juju's used up. Somebody else has got to go.
Yeah, I was about to say you've expended it all, Chris.
Absolutely. I've had awesome rolls today. No.
They've better, Shannon. You both have had really good rolls too. I've been a little low. Not too low, but dangerous.
Maybe that means you're due, Kory.
I kind of think
Yeah, because I had some good ones,
No,
but then
don't
my
be
last
scared.
one was bad. So
Well, because also wait, the theorization. So I theorized the first mystery. Shannon, you theorized the second one, right?
Baby, it's you. And you've got a +4 to this one.
+4.
Kory's making faces that are absolutely freaking me the fuck out.
so. Yeah. Kory's muttering to herself and not responding to any of us.
What's the number?
Okay, the first one was a 3, the second one was a 6.
So 9 plus
9.
4.
It's 11,
Yeah.
right?
9 plus 4 is 13.
Plus 4 is 13.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's exceptional. What are you making that face for?
You're making the worst fucking faces.
I thought you rolled like a 3.
Well, I did the first one and I got scared.
Oh.
I don't like everybody attacking me when I'm just doing my
No one's
job.
attacking you, buddy. No
Oh,
one's
you
attacking you.
Buddy, me.
So you were all sitting in this living room, assuredly knowing that you are right, that this is the correct path that you were on. And you also get this very, very sinking suspicion because there is a blinking light on the answering machine.
Oh, God.
And it is Demeter's voice that comes through, and she says, "I told you to leave it alone." And it goes dark. And if you were standing outside, and if you could see the ocean, you would see that this inky mass has started to form above the ocean, almost as if it's a dark mirror reflection of the ocean itself.
Lane takes out the eye of the void and just says, "Fuck you!"
All right, now it's in my house. Love that. Fuck you, Ben.
She just called us on your voicemail.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Bryan Backus, Percival Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Our Brindlewood Bay campaign features Christopher Diercksen as Eddi-Rue Dubois, Ben Ferber as Lane Walther, Kory Flores as Bebe Garcia, Shannon Wade as Doris Makoviak, and our keeper C. Meeker. If you'd like to help us continue exploring the intersection of theater and tabletop role-playing games, consider leaving us a review on your podcast app of choice or supporting us and getting access to our patron-only bonus content at patreon.com/dungeonsanddramanerds. You can find our social media and website links, including our cast bios, at the link tree in our show notes. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.